The Colt Cobra 38 Special. Hence the word Cobra. When you hear a snake name next to the word Colt, like Python, you immediately think of quality and precision. And it's true. As a matter of fact, all of the snake Colts right now, the revolvers, which they don't make anymore, and I'll tell you why in this video, bring a pretty good penny. They're pricey. If you can't afford a Python, take a look at the Cobra 38 Special. For about $1,000, you can get one in a pretty good condition like this one. And I want to talk to you about all the snake guns. As a matter of fact, I like to start my intro with a trivia question. During my intro, think of the 7 different Colt snake guns. We already know 2. We got the Python, you've got this Cobra, and there's 5 others. Think of that. We're also going to learn about how to test a older revolver to make sure the cylinder is in good shape. And we're also going to look at how to look at the serial numbers and see what year that Colt was produced. So you make sure when you buy one of these Colts, which are super high quality, you make sure you know the year it was built, and you make sure you know the quality of that cylinder. Think of all the 7 different snake guns, and let's talk about this Colt Cobra. Welcome to WeaponsEducation.com. The Colt Cobra 38 Special. This one happens to come from 1968. In this video, I'm going to show you how to determine what year your Colt or potential Colt was built. But right now, let me answer that trivia question. When people think of quality revolvers, they think of Colt. And then when you think of Colt, you think of the snake guns. There's 7 of them. Here's the answer. We know about the Python. And boy, are they pricey. Selling like $5,000 and up per piece. Very pricey because of the performance and quality and craftsmanship in these guns. And you've got the Cobra. You've got the Diamondback. You've got the Anaconda. You've got the King Cobra. You've got the Boa and the Viper. See, when Colt manufactured these super high-end revolvers, Smith got involved. Of course, they were always making revolvers as competition, and the quality of these Colts became so expensive to manufacture and compete with Smith. Colt stopped making these super high-end revolvers. So these older revolvers, if you can get one in good condition, 80% or better, it goes by percentile, you're looking at a really good revolver. And I'm going to show you in this video, in a close-up, how to test the cylinder to make sure it's tight as a clam and the timing is perfect on it, because you want it to be good and tight. I'll show you that in a close-up, and when I do another close-up here in a few moments, notice the finish on this revolver. This happens to be an aluminum frame, this Cobra. Don't mix it up with the King Cobra, which is a different animal, okay? Different gun. This is the aluminum frame Cobra, and it's got a finish that just looks like a gloss like I've never seen, except maybe on the Pythons you've seen on my channel in the past. But if you can't afford the Pythons and you want Colt quality, they don't make revolvers anymore, Colt. It's just too expensive for them to reproduce this quality. These things would, gosh, if they reproduced these today, who knows what they would cost with modern day expenses. $3-4 grand a revolver, probably even more. So they don't make them anymore, but you can get them. So when you're at gun shows, don't overlook these revolvers. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm trying to show you, is to look at these snake guns. And right now I want to sit close up and show you how to test any revolver for that matter for what's called the timing on the cylinder. And I'm also, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you how to tell what year your Colt that you either own, your revolver, was manufactured by the serial number. I'll show you a website, proofhouse.com. And if you're about to buy a revolver, I'll show you, how to check that serial number for the year it was produced. So right now, let's do a close-up and test the cylinder on this. And I'm going to compare it to a different revolver and just show you what I'm talking about. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's the timing. You want that revolver to be tight as a clam, and that's what these things are known for, just precision. Let's do a close-up and on the revolver cylinder right now. All right, so let's look at the cylinder on this Colt Cobra. And Tammy, my wife's here, please, can you zoom in? I don't know if you guys can see that, our friends. Cobra, it says it right there on the barrel. And this is a short barrel, 2-inch, very short. Look how beautiful this gun is. Now please zoom out a little bit, and I want to, first, of course, it is safety checked. And for educational purposes, I'm going to show you something here on what I do to check the cylinder and the timing. Because if the timing is off and the cylinder is loose, something's going to happen which is called shaving lead, meaning that if your round is in your cylinder and then when you go bang and it goes into the barrel, and if it's not lined up perfectly, it's a little slang word called shaving lead. You don't want that to happen. You want your cylinder and barrel to be lined up perfectly each and every shot. So it's good to have it tight within what's called industry standards. Now, Colt went far beyond industry standards back in the day, and their cylinders are so extremely tight. I'm going to show you here. And when you close a revolver, this is the crane here, you don't smash the cylinder into the gun. You don't spin the cylinder, like it's a toy. You just do damage that way. You take the crane and you softly close it, and you hear a click and it's locked. Now a lot of people think, well, I'm at a gun show, I'm buying a revolver. It's locked now. Let's see if that cylinder's tight. And they go like this. Now you see, please zoom in real close here, Tammy, real close. You see right now, I can feel it. It's got a little bit of play. But the real way to test it, and for educational purposes, we know the gun's safety checked, and you can dry fire almost all guns, except 22s, almost all. But what you want to do is you want to pull the hammer back and hold this trigger in like that. Now look at that. That is so tight. It doesn't budge. It just feels like it's all solid part of the gun. It doesn't even move a nanomillimeter. It is that tight. That's how you test the cylinder to make sure it's good. You pull that trigger back and hold the trigger back. Let me show you an example here on a brand new Smith. This is a 640 you've seen on the channel in the past. And as you can see, it's safety checked. But now this has an internal hammer. So what I'm going to do for educational purposes, I'm going to close it properly with the crane. And this is a brand new Smith with only about 50 rounds, if that, through it. It's brand new. It's about a year prior to this video was purchased and hardly has any rounds through it. Super high quality Smith. Love Smith revolvers. They're known for their revolvers. Love them. I got dozens of them. But I want to show you the difference. And this is within industry standards. So I'm going to pull the trigger for educational purposes, point in the safe direction. It's okay to dry fire a gun. And I'm going to hold that trigger in. Now, if you can listen. Hear that? It's a little loose. Nothing wrong with that. It's within industry standards. If you get one that's really loose, you got issues there. You're going to have that round not going through that barrel accurately. So I'm just showing you a brand new Smith Perfect gun within industry standards. And then when I show you these older Colts and how gorgeous they are, and then you pull that trigger back, nothing. So now, with that said, you want a snake gun, I'm guessing, after watching this. You want a snake gun. They were made in different eras, 50s, 60s, 70s, depending on which one you're looking at. And I'm going to show you a way now to check the serial number, because this is weapons education. I'd like you to learn a little bit. And I learn along too as I make these videos. We're all in this together. Let me show you a website and how to check the serial number, and how I realized that this one that I got here is made in around 1968. Let's do that right now. In this segment, I'd like to show you how to look up a serial number for those Colts. And what you do is you come to proofhouse.com, and they have a bunch of different guns here that you can look up, but you want to obviously click on the Colt serial numbers here. And then what I want to show you is you scroll down on the left-hand side here and come down to the double action revolvers. It's in alphabetical order, and come to C for Cobra. So in this case, I'm going to do that, and the serial number on the gun in this video starts with the numbers 255. So if you're at a gun show, you've got your smartphone with you, you can check out the year it was made immediately. If it comes with the box, that adds a lot of value to it. So here, in 1968, 245 to 274, okay, in 1969. So the gun in this video was made in 1968. You're going to have to do more research on all these different serial numbers, because they jump into different letters and stuff. But this is a good starting point for you to figure out the year of your Colt or your potential Colt, and that's how you do it. For instance, in 1950 it was obviously 1, and then in 1952 they made 1 through 1499, and then in 1951 they started with 1500. And then in 1952, they made that many thousands up to number 7,000. So that just gives you an idea of what year your Colt or future Colt was built. In this case, this is 1968. You want to know the condition of the gun. You want to know that cylinder. Don't be all frowned upon if there's some wear and tear on the gun, because these Colts' internal parts are such high end. So if there's a little wear and tear on either the bluing or the finish, don't get all nervous that the gun's no good, because the internal parts are such high quality. And it's a great gun to carry if you want super high quality. I'm going to sit behind the table one more time and say goodbye and thank everybody. And I hope you learned something from this. Let me sit down one more time. So the snake guns, in this case this Cobra 38 Special, made in 1968, is extremely high quality. And when you go look at them on Gunbroker, or if you see them at a gun show, you might see them with a shroud, what's called a shroud, which helps cover up most of the hammer so it won't get caught on anything. That even adds more value to it. And there you go. I hope you picked something up from this. It's a way to get a quality Colt at not the cost of a Python. And like I said, for around $1,000, you can really get a super high-end Colt. Let me know what you think. Please throw in your comments about your revolver, your favorite revolvers. I know everyone loves their Smiths and their Rugers and everything else. So do I. It's all good. It's all good. Life is good. And I appreciate everybody. My name is Tom, the host of Weapons Education, and I'm asking everyone to subscribe and please share this video. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.